Hey guys, Eli here for Ancestral Recall. Just want to do a quick news update. Just to let you know, I did a short two-parter. The Onslaught video is taking quite a bit of time because I feel like I've gone into so much detail. There's so much to say about this big set that I just couldn't put it out all this week. And I really want to make sure you guys get a great quality product. I'm super happy with the script I've done. There are some great gags in the next episode. And so I'm thrilled. Now, one thing I do want to talk about very quickly is some other upcoming shows I want to do. Once we get the full spoilers for Conspiracy, well, I want to talk a little bit about Conspiracy in terms of Cube. What does it mean to be playing Conspiracies in Cube? I think there's some of them which are going to be really awesome, and I think some of them are not necessarily going to be the best. Now, when I talk cube, I'm not talking about full powered cube experiences. I feel like those are so powerful that just adding more ways to make the format even more degenerate gets on my nerves. If you guys have seen my cube videos, I generally like to have, powerful play, but it feels like authentic, high grade, limited. And so I feel like we need to be very judicious about how to still keep the feel of authentic cube play. Now, if you want just throwing conspiracies into your regular cube, you can do that. I think you'll certainly have a good time, but I don't know if it really is going to make for optimal repeated experience. Another thing I want to do, I am looking to do a couple shots this week. I'm in Philly, the birthplace of magic, and I want to just do a little profile, ripping off of Magic Man Sam. He's been traveling around the country doing little shoots, opening packs in all sorts of different places. So I thought, well, why don't I do the same thing here in Philly, focusing on famous Philadelphia sites? Should I schlep down to the Spectrum? Yeah, Spectrum. Yeah, I'm dated. One thing I also want to say is that, we're in the middle of spoiler season of summer. We have Conspiracy coming, and then M15. And honestly, I'm not getting the huge page hits that I was making early in the year because it's spoiler season, and hey, that's okay. Everyone's busy reading all these other things, so I feel a little bad right here. I'm a little bit clumped. You can be verklempt sad or verklempt happy. That's how being verklempt goes. One thing I can say that I'm super excited about is that Exploration is getting printed in foil. Yes! Now, I have a vintage deck which I have fully foiled out to the most of my ability. I'm not going to black border my tropical islands in it because I'm not rich. And now that there's foil Force of Wills, I'm not going to get those for a very long time, really. Before I get those, I should focus on paying down my college debt because, I just got my master's degree and I'm in the hole on that. So yeah, foil explorations, those are attainable. Foil forces, yeah, right. One other thing I do want to mention is that I am working on putting together a Patreon page. I've seen Evan Irwin, and Evan, first of all, Evan is an amazing producer. He writes really well. He has a different type of spin than I do in terms of history, and he reached out to me and said, hey, Eli, I see what you do. You have a good spin on history. You have some good methods, and I'd love to tap you for research for his show, Forgotten Lore. And yeah, I said that's fine. I'm perfectly happy to collaborate with other people, especially on topics historical. And so I'm kind of excited about that. In that Evan has a much bigger audience than me, which I feel like he richly deserves for putting in God knows how many episodes of the Magic Show. I really do enjoy the Magic Show. I feel like what I do is quite different. It's oral history, which I feel is actually much more akin to what Mark Rosewater does. Mark Rosewater, in his Drive to Work, he is doing oral history in many elements. And Evan, coming from a more TV-oriented, PBS-style documentary type thing, that's a very valid perspective. It is a good learning tool, but we all have editorial choices that we need to make. And he has his approach, which I know he enjoys. I have a very different editorial voice. I come from the world of writing. I have lots of articles printed. I've printed articles on Dojo, Star City, Mothership, Mind Ripper. Evan's written too, but he's really more of a talking presenter. So we have different approaches. Anyway, I feel like working together, collaborating is going to be super exciting. I mean, Forgotten Lore is his baby. I'm just one of the people helping him put it together. So hopefully some of the people watching that will be able to tune into me and say, okay, well, here's a little different spin on history. And that's awesome because multiple sources make history great. So yeah, I'm putting together a Patreon page because I would like to see if I can get some support from you guys. You know, I am working a new job this summer. I'm teaching at Penn, which is an Ivy League school, which is sweet, but you know, it's not enough hours to make ends meet. So if I'm working another part-time job, doing more teaching gigs, that's less time to produce this show. And while I do enjoy teaching, you know, it'd be really awesome to keep this going. Yeah, I'm rambling here, so I'm going to cut it off because, you know, I've got my script for the next episode done. I've got my stills, you know, I'm putting together my images, and I actually need to record this puppy. Fun, fun, fun. Philly's getting hot, so I don't know how it's going to be to record this summer, especially since I won't have AC when I'm shooting. Okay, enough blather. This is Eli Kaplan for Ancestral Recall signing off. Good games and good luck.